27, 30. Let's do it again. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Now everybody. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Let's dance. Count with me, I said, this time we'll go to 99. We'll skip 2 numbers in between. Let's count to 99. We'll start with 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45, 48, 51, 54, 57, 60, 63, 66, 69, 72, 75, 78, 81, 84, 87, 90, 93, 96, 99. Now everybody dance with me.
All right. So once again, we do the counting in those patterns, counting by 3s, counting by 5s. Jaya, can you please show me you're ready to learn? Counting by 3s, counting by 5s, counting by 10s, and then practicing counting them forward and backwards, because it's going to make our lives a lot easier with addition and subtraction. Once we know those patterns, it makes our lives much easier. Okay, and it will really help next year when it comes to multiplication. Ooh.
Hey, Miss.
Hey, what?
Can I use the restroom?
Yes, very quickly, Miss Amy.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to talk about measurements. We're just going to kind of think about that really quickly. So we've got like feet, okay, which is not actually measuring by your foot, okay? It's measuring with that ruler. One ruler, 12 inches is 1 foot, okay? 12 inches, okay, equals 1 foot. Okay, we have centimeters. Right? Centimeters. And you guys have been working with centimeters. If you flip that ruler and you've got it on the small number side, those are your centimeters, right? And Rudy, do you have something to share?
Can I tell Sam something?
Not if it's not class related, then please wait. Okay, you can do it at the end of our meeting.
Okay.
Okay, Jaya, do you remember how many centimeters are in a meter?
100.
100, very good. 100 centimeters in 1 meter. I love that. If you have something in your hands, please put it down and show me that you are ready to listen and learn and participate. Thank you. All right. So there's things that are going to be, and then we have things like we can measure with like our cubes or paper clips or something, right? We can do, that's called a non-standard measurement. So I want to talk about what's going to be more reasonable. So your meter is this tool, okay? It's 100 centimeters, it's this tool, okay? It's also called a yardstick, but we can call it a meter stick, okay? And then you have tools like a big measuring tape that measure much longer than just 1 meter. They'll go like 5 meters or something in a measuring tape. Okay. So we're talking about what's going to be a more reasonable thing to measure things with. Okay. So if I'm measuring something like a pencil, what would the tool that I would choose for that be to measure that pencil? What tool would I choose to measure a pencil? Would I choose a centimeter? Would I choose a meter? Which one would I choose to measure a pencil? Which one's going to give us a better measurement? Measure it by the meter or measure it by the centimeter? Oh, Samuel, what do you think?
Measure by the centimeter.
Right? That's going to be a lot more reasonable trying to get an answer with a centimeter as opposed to trying to say, oh, I'm going to measure you with a big meter. That doesn't make any sense, right? But what about a swimming pool? Troy?
A meter stick, because pools are more bigger than pencils.
Right? Pools are bigger than pencils, so I would definitely measure it with a meter stick versus just a centimeter. But here's a question. Would I measure it with a meter stick, or would I measure it with a measuring tape? Between those two choices, which one would be a more reasonable choice? Who thinks they know? Which would be the reasonable choice? Would I do a meter stick or would I do a measuring tape? Rudy?
Meter stick.
Meter stick. Very good. Very good. What about if I was going to measure my little paper clip? My paper clip. I don't know how you guys can see that. If I wanted to measure my paper clip, would I measure it with a meters or would I measure it with centimeters? Which one would make more sense for my paper clip? Sahedi?
Centimeters.
Right? That's the more reasonable answer. You guys are on fire. You're on fire. Give yourselves a pat on the back. What about my cup? You know, it's a Jaguar cup for school. Am I going to measure this with a measuring tape, with a meter stick, or in centimeters? Which one would make more sense, with meters or centimeters? Amy?
We would use a centimeter stick.
Right? Centimeters is going to give me a better measurement of my cup than meters. I could not measure my cup with just meters, trying to say how many meters it is. That doesn't make any sense. Right?
Because it's not big.
It's not big, right?
It's like a small thing. You use centimeters for small things, and you use meters for big things.
Oh my goodness, Amy, that was a great way to explain that. When you're measuring small things, you use small measurements, like my centimeters. When you're measuring big things, you use big measurements, like my meter or like a measuring tape. Very good. I can tell that you guys have been working very hard this unit, and that makes Ms. Kennison so happy that you've been thinking about what you've been learning. Now, if you still have work that you need to complete and turn in, please do that today, okay, or this weekend, whatever. Get on that work, get that all turned in and done so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Whew. Right? When it's done, we don't need to worry anymore about it. It's done and we can move on to the next thing and know that our work is completed, okay? So second graders, I know once again, we just did a little bit of discussion today. We did a lot of review. Next week, we'll be starting on new materials, new things. Oh my goodness, we are moving into place value next week, which is why I had to sing a little bit about place value this week. We're going to be talking about place value next week. A lot of moving within place values, also counting up and down in certain like place values and ways, like finding out, oh, like to get to my group of 10, I might count by ones. If I start at 47, right? I go 47, 48, 49, 50. And then to get to 100, I would count by tens. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And then if I wanted to go to 300, I would count by hundreds. 300, 400, 500. Or I'm sorry, I had 100, 100, 200, 300. Miss Kennison got so excited about counting by hundreds, I just jumped all over the place. Okay? So that's what we're going to be doing a lot of talk about next week is place values and then counting along number lines. Rudy has been raising his hand very patiently. Thank you, Rudy. What is your question?
What's 100 plus 5,000?
Well, okay, so you want to get into that really quick? So I'll only do it just to demonstrate lining up place values, but that is kind of above and beyond what we're doing right now. So you want 500 plus, did you say 5,000?
Yeah.
5,000, okay? I would actually, how I like to do, Ms. Kennison likes to line that up in the place values. So, ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So notice I lined up the hundreds in the hundreds place value over here.
Okay.
So then you just add down it. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 is, if I have 0 and I add 5, I have, anybody? If I have nothing and I add 5 to it, what do I get? What do I get, Rudy? If you have nothing, you have 0, and you add 5 to it, how many do you have?
Let me think.
Sweetie, you know this. I know you know it. If you have 0, you have nothing. And then you add 5. How many do you have?
5?
Right. Exactly. When you have nothing and you add something to it, that's how many you have. So we put that 5 right there. And then there's nothing to add to the thousands place. So we bring that down to Party Town right down here. So we have 5,500. Okay. And that's just to give you a quick little discussion about adding through your place values, but we're not going to be quite into that next week. But Rudy was so excited, and I can't resist if you're excited about math. Who can say no to that? All right. Have a wonderful lunch, boys and girls. And
I already
all
smelled
of
it.
you guys did your tests today, or you did your test yesterday, so you don't need to worry about it today. Get on there and do any work that you have not done. And that's last week, the week before that. Any work that you have not done yet, you can get on there and kind of catch up. I think if you go, there's a way that you can figure out which work that you've turned in easily on Google Classroom. I think if you go to people on Google Classroom, maybe you can click
my
on
mom
yourself.
didn't find like the Google Classroom. I mean, like a month where all that is.
Okay, Troy, I'll try to look that up for you. Okay, bud? I'll
Okay.
take a picture of it and I'll send it to you. Okay. All right.
Great,
Thank you. Goodbye.
And I can always
I'll see you later in my science.
Bye. I'll see you for science.
Bye. I'm gonna play with my sister.